Runnineers, it's Manny again, and it's been a while, but it's been slow on the news. We did get a little bit of news, and we got some upcoming. I do got today's topic, so let's get right to the news. So first off, we got this message from Walt Disney World Marathon Weekend. It's going to be a big reveal. My guess is tomorrow is Monday, Medal Monday, so it might be the reveal of the Walt Disney World Marathon medals. Personally, I think it's going to be in book shapes. I'm not sure of all of them. Maybe some of them, they're going to be a little bit different, but I think that it's going to be at least in a book shape. I'm not sure if they're going to open or anything like that. I think maybe the ones that probably will open, if there is any, is going to be Dopey and or Goofy. But what are your thoughts? Are you looking forward to Medal Monday and possibly the reveal of Marathon Weekend medals? Now, the bit of news that we did get was we got some reveal for some merchandise that's going to be coming for Wine and Dine. So let's take a look at that. So just to give you an idea, this is not the whole thing. So it's not going to be everything that is going to be released. This is just kind of a tease. I think they're going to have wine glasses. They're going to have a couple of other things, more pins, so forth and so on. So just take it with a grain of salt, but it gives you an idea of what to expect. Now, before we get into today's topic, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, hit the notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up. We really, really appreciate it. Comment down below. That's the important part. I really love interacting with you guys. I just got back from Disney World myself, and I interacted with a lot of Run Disney friends and family. And the reason that I picked this topic is because we were chit-chatting about this. And so I said, you know what, this is a good idea because we're in a little bit of a lull when it comes to news. So let's go ahead and talk about what to expect when you start in the back, if you start in the back, and what I've seen. And let's get to it. Well, today's topic is basically going to be about what we see in the back when we run. I start in the back, and to give you a little bit of perspective, I'm going to start off in January of 2023. So January of 2023, I was watching videos on YouTube like I usually do, and I watched, it was a regular video blogger who decided to run the Walt Disney World Marathon 10K. Now, this particular person didn't have the best experience. They got swept. They had a lot of views, so I wanted to watch what went on. And a lot of the video was basically based on negative emotions. This is what didn't happen. This didn't work out. He didn't like this, didn't like that, so forth and so on. A few positive things, but on the most part, it was pretty negative. So right there and then, I decided, I took out my video camera. I decided I am going to run in the back. I had heard of the balloon ladies. I had heard of the dead last starters, never interacted with them, and said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do this. So February of 2023, which was Princess 10K, I decided I'm going to run with them. So the first thing I did was I went and I asked permission. I did not just go and do it. I asked permission. I got green light. I got the green light, and I was able to do that. I met some of the dead last starters back then. There wasn't as many as there are now, and I decided to record. And one of the things that I saw was one of the things that I learned was there's a different perspective when you run in the back. When you run in the back, there's perspectives of just different levels of emotion. You get the highs, you get the lows, you get people who are just out there. There's going to be tears of joy, tears of disappointment. It's all a mixture. It is a great thing to see. It's also heartbreaking. It is something that I carry with me on a regular basis now, especially doing what I do. I've been doing this for a while, and on the most part, I start in the back. Even in the 5Ks, when there is no timer, we don't have any balloon ladies, I sometimes even start in the back. I just go wherever I feel like it, but on the most part, I've decided to start in the back. And let me give you a little bit of perspective of what I see just to start, and then I'll go forward in the race. So first off, we're the back. So we are the last corral. We're the last wave of that corral, because remember, there is waves within the corral. So even if you're in the back in the last corral, you still may have some waves. So those people that sit there thinking, oh, I'm going to start in the back, they're going to be right there. No, you can start a little bit ahead, and so you're going to be able to get 5, 10, maybe even 15 minutes a little bit ahead, probably not more than that. So what happens is, and this is the way I've always seen it, is I always look at the back as we're coming up, and I see the custodians, the people there that clean up the place. They do a magical job. I go and I thank them, because that portion, that parking lot, is so clean. Every time we leave it, it's really, really cool. I get to see that they're picking up. I go and I give them a fist bump, a high five, whatever it is, just to encourage them, because they do this magical job. So as we get to the back, that we're going to be starting pretty soon. We're going to be the last corral. They usually play a pretty good song. The ones I remember is "Don't Stop Believing" by Journey. Great song. So they play it, they blare it on. The DJs sit there and they talk about us, and then we start. So we get the last start, and it's the last corral goes first. Then the dead last starters take off. Then it's usually me and the unofficial balloon guy, Dennis. We walk and we meet up with the balloon ladies, especially if I decide I'm going to stay with them. I walk up a little bit until they are released. So once they're released, it takes us a little bit of time before we start seeing people. Most people that we see almost right away are looking to get swept. They're the ones that are hurt. They just decide, hey, I'm just going to go ahead and get my medal. So they sit there going like, where do I get swept? So they start getting them right away. Then little by little, we start going into people that are, might be struggling a little bit, might have, not taken into consideration that's going to be a little bit warmer. And so they're struggling a little bit, and they're, so we sit there and we try to encourage them. Well, because of my experiences, I've actually decided to stay in the back on the most part, because I like to encourage people to finish. And you guys know, last year I said one of my goals for this year is to make sure that most people cross that finish line. I always said 100%. I know it's not going to be 100%, but darn it, we can get as close to 100% as we can. So with all that said, I have a couple of goals, and I had said the goal was to make the half marathon in 2.5 hours. I'm kind of changing that a little bit, because I think that I would rather sit back and see if I can get as many people to finish that half marathon as possible, encourage, try to take people with us to finish off that journey, that experience that we have. So I'm going to switch it over to the 10K. And I think, because I have been training and I feel pretty good, that I could actually break an hour and 15 minutes for the 10K. Haven't even tried to do that in such a long time, possibly even an hour and 10 minutes. But it's just like anything else. I like to be challenged, and once in a while, especially now that I'm training, and it's been a while since I've been training this hard, I'd like to try to see if I can do this. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you very much for putting up with me. I know it's been a while, but a lot of news should be coming up, and we're going to be going to Wine and Dine in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, we're going to be finishing, in less than 3 weeks actually. In 3 weeks from today, we're going to be finishing the half marathon. But now I'm going to turn it over to you guys. Do you have any questions about starting in the back? Are you looking forward to Medal Monday and possibly the reveal of the Walt Disney World Marathon medals? And what do you think of that merchandise for Wine and Dine? Are you going to get something? Are you not going to get anything? Comment down below. But without further ado, I want to thank you very much. Create a magical day, create a magical run, and guys, we're going to see you sooner than later.